Welcome to Sisters Before Blisters, Chafing the Dream. Hi, I'm Cheryl.
I'm Christine.
And I'm Colleen.
We're three sisters living in three different countries who thought it would be a brilliant idea to sign up for a 70.3 Ironman triathlon as a relay team.
That's 1.2 miles of swimming, 56 miles of biking, and a half marathon, combined as a team, which sounds totally doable until you remember none of us are spring chickens anymore.
We're documenting every painful, hilarious, inspiring moment of our 13-month journey from what have we done to race day glory, or a complete disaster.
Expect training mishaps, sister drama, expert advice, and proof that the best terrible decisions are made with family. Let's do this. Welcome back to Sisters Before Blisters. If you are new here, we are three sisters in three different countries training to be in a relay together at some point later in the summer. And it's a half Ironman that we're training for, and we're each doing a different leg. So I am the sister who's doing the leg of biking, and I am in Canada.
I am Christine, and I am doing the swimming portion, and I am in Michigan.
I'm Colleen, and I'll be doing the running portion, and I'm in Germany.
Hey. And in this episode, we are talking about swimming with Ellen Doherty. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to let Ellen introduce herself in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we're going to bounce on over to our wins, setbacks, and fails with the sisters. And Christine, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm still having some issues with my shoulder, so that's a bit frustrating. Cheryl, you took a look at it and gave me some not so positive news, possibly. Yeah. But I am doing some of the exercises that you suggested, and it doesn't hurt as much as it did. So that's good. Another win is that we've had a few days where the weather has been a little nice. So I've been able to get outside a little bit more. So I've definitely seen an improvement in my mood and my ability to get outside and move around. And I even ran into Ellen last week on the trail. So we finished a much longer hike than what I had originally anticipated. Great. So positives.
I love it. I love it. Colleen, you have some positives for us? Or any check-ins?
I do. Yeah, no, I do. So I was with my PT on Thursday, and we've done about 3 months of work, and finally my pelvic floor and my abdominal muscles are communicating. So
that's
it
amazing.
only took 3 months. But she said that's the hardest thing, and that's like the hardest part is over with. So she said about 3 more months and I should be good to go.
Amazing.
Exciting.
Just in time to start like upping miles, so that should be good.
Amazing. Upping miles.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, anybody who wants to join us this month, we are working on steps as the sister challenge. So more steps, the better. You can run, you can walk, you can bounce on a trampoline, whatever you need to do to get your steps. Steps is the challenge for this week, or this month, I'm sorry. So Colleen, perfect timing to get going on those steps. Good job. Good job. So positive for me. I made an appointment for my car to get a bike rack.
So you can take it places.
So I can take it places. I can train not on the road. Hopefully I can go to a trail, which is great. Kind of a big deal to be able to take the bike up to the race. So I felt like that was it was a positive.
Kind of important.
Kind of important. So we will get the bike rack put on. The other positive is that us sisters, we did book our Verbo, so we have a place to stay when we go up to the race. We have a couple of family members that are gonna help with the kids, and we're not staying too far from the race, so that's great. And it's a beautiful location, and I'm really excited about that. So we've had this has been a good couple of weeks for us, I think. Cool. For our listeners, don't forget to subscribe. It's that button down there. Hit the little check mark or little bell and subscribe to the channel. And let's jump into questions for Ellen, our swimming expert. And I'm going to let Christine kind of take this away, have Ellen introduce herself, and then we'll get into it.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, Ellen. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I am Ellen Doherty. I am a special education teacher, swim coach, mom, busy like all of you and multitasking everything we do. I've been a swimmer all my life. I started swimming when I was, I think 4, and then competitively in the 8 and under age groups all the way through high school. Graduated from high school and went to swim for Valparaiso University. Swam there for just about half a year until 2 shoulder injuries took me out. I thought I could get back in after shoulder surgeries, and it just wasn't happening at that level. So I didn't swim for a really long time after those shoulder injuries from college, and then kind of transitioned into some just running for fitness. Hated it, absolutely hated it at first, and then started enjoying it after the fact. And so I would do some pretty good distances for a while, but as I'm aging, distance doesn't agree with my joints and overall well-being. So I'm a little more focused now on just movement. But as far as swimming goes, I took over the high school coaching, varsity coaching position for swimming for boys and girls swim, I think in 2022. And I found a lot of joy in coaching other swimmers and teaching young people how to overcome adversity and really just invest in themselves. I also coach our age group swim team with Christine.
Yep.
We share that together. And so I coach Christine's kids and she coaches my kids. So it's all like a full circle thing for us. But just finding my way in landing back in swimming and coaching has been a really joyful experience. It adds a lot to a busy schedule, but when you don't have that busy, then you kind of realize that you might enjoy that more than just not being busy, you know?
Yep.
So I do have experience with open water swimming. I would say I am probably an expert for swimming in our area, just like I was an elite swimmer for our area when I was coming through high school. But I have a lot to learn always, because what I learned 20 years ago in swimming is not what is happening currently. So I'm also very interested in improving my skills. I'll be going to the Central States Clinic for swimming.
Is that the one that's in Chicago that you were
Yep.
telling me about? Okay.
Yep. My assistant / dive coach, Michaela, is going to be coming with me. So we'll go down to that and see the new techniques that we're using and the different drills that we can do to help support that in just the advances in swimming, learning how to kind of modify those things from what you used to know down to it's evolving just like anything else, everything ever evolving, and you just got to keep up with the times.
Is that happening this summer?
That is actually at the end of April. So
Okay.
that will be happening soon. And then throughout, I have not gotten on top of planning for conditioning yet. Most of my athletes that are at the high school level are involved in some other sport. So a lot of our athletes are, using it really as cross training too. And that's great. I totally advocate for that. So I'm not going to hit conditioning real hard with our swimmers for boys and girls season. We'll start 3 days a week. And then that's when I'll try to get in and do some swims there. That's when we get into open water swimming at least once a week. And
I'm hoping to tag along.
Yes, that's when Christine's going to jump in and we'll be hitting a lot of the bulk of how do you transition from swimming in a swimming pool to open water swimming, because they're definitely a different.
So different.
Yep.
I feel like open water swimming, at least from my experience, is like it's 10 times harder. It's so different. You're working with winds and currents and waves and visibility issues and fears of what's going to come and grab you underneath. And
The little fishies.
or turtles or snakes or whatever.
Yes.
Yep. So as a team, we have maybe a handful of open water swimmers or swimmers that are willing to attempt open water swimming. First of all, not everybody can participate. If you are a brand new swimmer and you're learning how to swim, open water swimming is not the place for you to continue your learning of how to swim and then advance it. Like you said, there are so many variables, the water temperature, the wind, the waves. Breathing is a completely different pattern in open water swimming. So last year when we did one of our, it wasn't our first open water swim of the season, but we went, Christine was with us. She was one of our spotters on a kayak, I think, or a paddleboard.
Paddleboard, yep.
Yep. So her daughter tagged along. We had probably 5 high school swimmers that attended with us, and we had 2 other spotters kayaking. So we were really making sure that we were training in open water at least once a week to prepare. In Harbor Springs, you can choose a half-mile swim, 1 mile, 2 mile, or 3 mile swim. And it takes you out and around. First, you start in the bay, and then you go out around a point, around a buoy, and then back through the bay. So getting back into that as a then 37-year-old mom, I was excited to do it, but also apprehensive because just getting back in the water and doing that. We trained for it in the river too. We ended up doing, I don't remember how many miles that day it was because it was downriver. So the actual swimming portion wasn't tough.
No, wasn't it? Isn't it 6 river miles or something like that?
I think it was. Yep. I remember being at about 6 miles, and it was really important to have our spotters with us on the river because there was some training that we had to do right before we got in about what do you do when you go over a log? What do you do when you see a log? What if you're surprised by a log? You can't hold yourself on it because you run the risk of being pulled under the log. Had to either swim around, tuck up, and just ride over the log. We had a lot of that going on. So had to be really aware. And we did have to
seaweed. The seaweed.
We had to tackle quite a bit of fear with the seaweed because seaweed is really high in that river, and you're just flattened on the surface, and the seaweed is tickling your everything just as you ride along over the seaweed waiting for it to pass. And some of us could not do that, could not get over the seaweed part because it's tough.
Cheryl, this is your nightmare. Like that, that is your nightmare.
This is my nightmare.
Well, you and Lexi share something then.
Yeah.
Lexi ended up getting out of the water.
Oh.
Spent the rest of the time on the paddleboard because that is where swimming, 90% of swimming in any type of water is a mental game. It is a mental, just head game. Can you overcome what you're thinking, your worries, your fears, and then also breathe, kick, swim, and try to go fast at the same time?
Right. So that's a lot. And like the anxiousness that you sometimes feel, whether it's seaweed or you choke on some water. So what might be some strategies to calm yourself back down and keep going?
So for me, and I'll start with saying, it feels very dumb, but I'm a very strong swimmer, lifeguard, and I have a fear of being over my head in water that I can't see the bottom. I panic. Every time I panic. If I see the bottom, I'm doing better. Like I can control myself a little bit better, but deep, dark water, every single time I will initially panic. And my panic, I think, looks different from like, an active drowning person. I'm not panicking like that, but your brain just goes into that state of panic. So for me, when that happens, I just have to breathe and first control my breathing, because if I can't control my breathing, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So first I'm focused on my breathing and what I need to do. And literally the here and now. Am I safe? Yes, you're safe. You can control your breathing, focus on what you need to do. Pull, look ahead, sometimes it's like a panic of, I don't know where I am. I've lost my spot where I need to swim to. And so for that, it could be a multiple different reasons too. Like if my goggles fog up, when I was on my 3 mile swim, I had trained during the summer with my swimmers. I was ahead of my swimmers and I kept saying, come on, guys, you got it. Pick it up. You can beat me. You can be ahead of me. And when we got in for our 3 mile swim, I panicked because I started right with everybody else and it was splashing water. It was kicking, hands, arms everywhere, everybody close to me. So I really couldn't get a pattern with my breathing because everywhere I tried to breathe was a splash of water. So for me now, I know I am starting behind. It's going to be more beneficial for me to be calm and not panicked if I start behind the pack of everyone. I don't want to be in a pack of people splashing. I can just follow behind and then get my stride, and then I will get the motivation and the calm to be like, all right, now I'm going to start passing people. I'd like to be ahead. But when that happened, it was probably the first 20 minutes of that race. I was panicked. And once I initially panicked, it was really hard to get back down from it into a calm place. So I rolled over on my back and I first caught my breathing, because there's nothing wrong with kicking on your back. It's a little bit of a gut punch to your ego when you start out a 3 mile race on your back, kicking and breathing. But for me, that's what I had to do to get my calm, because I was first starting with that bad start with a bunch of water, couldn't catch my breath. And then I went into pitch black water that I couldn't see the bottom. And I didn't anticipate that. What I remembered from 20 years ago was seeing the bottom. And so when I panicked, I knew I just needed to breathe, kick on my back. I would find my stride. And then it was like old hat. I knew exactly what to do, but it took 15 minutes of just trying to get my calm, breathing first, breathing under control. And then it was just smooth sailing from there. Then I found my swimmer and I was excited because then we swam along together for a little bit.
Question about your breathing. When it comes to breathing and with the water, there's extra pressure on your chest and your diaphragm and everything. And Christine's going to be in a wetsuit. So are there additional, other than normal walking around on Earth, what's the Disney movie where she wants feet? Mermaid. Little Mermaid.
Ariel.
Ariel, yeah. So walking around on Earth it's a different mechanism to breathe as far as like the pressure. Are there new or better techniques when you're in the water and you have pressure on your chest, you're being compressed with a wetsuit, to be able to like get your breath pretty efficiently? Or is it just like time?
I would honestly, and this isn't from something I know from swimming, and it might be too, thinking more like your yogi breath, filling in everything, not just like filling your lungs, but using your diaphragm to expand everything to get a full deep breath, I think could probably help support too. Then you're not feeling as much of that pressure on your chest. What I've researched and found, different types of wetsuits can help you with buoyancy too. Christine, you're going to be in a wetsuit.
I'm going to look like a seal.
I can't wait to see. I want to see how it fits and how you're able to use it, like in the pool, in the water, open water.
I got to get one first, but yeah, I'm interested to see if it will, if it really does help with buoyancy and how I'm going to be able to move my shoulder. I don't know if it's going to help with compression and keeping it in place, or is it going to hinder me and not let me have the same amount of mobility? So I'm curious as to which way. Is it going to be a little bit of both? I don't know.
Well, when you buy your wetsuit, will you be buying one that has full arms? Because you can do the shoulder type.
I don't know. I don't know what is the best. And I don't, so our race is in September, like late-ish September. So usually we are still pretty warm. I don't know. I don't know what the best is.
Where is the race again?
It's in Frankfurt,
And what water?
Lake Michigan.
So I would start by looking up the Lake Michigan water temperature at that time too,
Yeah.
because Lake Michigan water is always cold, Marley has shared with me.
Thanks, Marley.
That's
It's
one
usually
I-
pretty chilly. So maybe you will be able to rent one, Christine, and test it
Yeah.
out first before you make that. They're not cheap,
They're not
No.
cheap.
and they're not cheap. So maybe being able to rent one for a day and see what you like would be better off. You'd be better off, and
Yeah.
then you can determine when you actually pull the trigger to purchase one. What does that
Yeah.
feel like for you?
No, I think Roger has a buddy that I can maybe rent one from and check it out, and then maybe I can rent it for the whole weekend if I need to, or a couple of times if the price is cheap enough to do that instead of buying one. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
something that Roger and I have been talking about. So
Yeah, I think that's a great idea,
Too.
especially if you don't think you're gonna do a lot of open water swims.
well,
Renting a lot of
and
times.
within all of this training and stuff, I'm like, why are we doing a relay? We can all do this. Like, why? Like, we can each do the whole thing.
I'm excited.
Uh,
I like
No.
hearing this.
Did you see Christine or Colleen and I, our face? We're like, no, blub blub right here, blub blub, sinker. And
Well,
I don't know, I don't know if my joints can handle that run.
Well, and I'm a slower runner than each of you, and I'm a slower biker than each of you, but I think I can still do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could finish the day.
I don't know if I'll be walking the next day, but your brain plays these tricks on you, like, oh, that was such an awesome run, or that was a great swim, and why are we making this so complicated? We can each do it.
Let's do the relay first, and
Okay.
then let's get your feedback on that.
Okay.
Because after the swim, then you still have 56 miles of biking and 3.1 miles of running.
No, 13.1.
Or 13. I'm sorry, 13.1.
3.1's
Yeah. No, half marathon.
As biking.
that's a lot. Okay. So back to swimming stuff. I'm going to shout out some questions and some topics, and you can choose to answer kind of what you think would be best for me, because you're kind of like my coach.
Little bit.
Yes. Talking about improving stroke efficiency for long distance open water swimming.
Mhm.
Any common technique mistakes? Should I focus on stroke rate versus stroke length? How do I maintain good form when I start to fatigue? Body position to reduce drag. That's going to be an issue when I start to sight things.
Mhm.
Should I do more endurance or more efficiency first? What are your thoughts?
So this
A
is,
lot of stuff.
I think seeing you. So when Christine and I swim, I get to see. I love swimming with swimmers because there's a definite different perspective from what you see on the top of the water and then what you can see on underneath the water. So when it comes to seeing you in the water, you have actually, it's kind of perfect for open water swimming.
Okay.
Your stroke reminds me of what I see whenever I see other open water swimmers. Number one, not a lot of kick.
I forget to do that sometimes. I'm just so upper body strong. So.
Yes. So when you're swimming in open water and you're going a distance, longer distances, because how far are you swimming? 1.5?
1.2.
1.2. That's quite a distance. So for the majority of the time, you're going to be, that low kick rate. You're just going to kind of be letting your feet guide you, drag you, turn you. You'll increase your kick rate at some point when you need to go a little bit faster. But for the most part, you're going to be conserving a lot of energy and just focused on long reaching strokes. With that, like you said, spotting, I think you're going to find spotting easier than it is. But I also wonder a little bit about mobility. Like there, as far as it goes for us, I mean, I know that we try to focus on stretching, try to focus on some mobility movements, just the mobility in your neck. I've noticed that has changed for me over the years. And I'm not going to sit on my stomach and have my hands like this for a very long time because that's going to crank my neck, and just be painful. So I notice when I am open water swimming, I am not spotting as much as I used to spot when I was younger, but because it really starts to bother my back when I'm lifting my head to spot where I need to go.
So a comment on that, like even when I was in the pool swimming, my neck was definitely way more sore, and like I could feel the fatigue in my neck as I was swimming the longer distances.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that could just be getting back into swimming and, using all of these muscles in your back that we don't use on a daily basis unless you are swimming.
Mhm.
So there's some of that, but some of it is just finding that length, reaching, keeping your body position comfortable, and then being able to recover from that once you lift your head, spotting back down, and then finding your stride again with your breathing pattern.
Is there like a pattern like 1, 2, 3, breathe, 1, 2, 3, look, 1, 2, 3, breathe, 1, 2, should I be counting something or?
That's a good question. I just do what makes sense to me and what has worked for me in the past. And what I do is about 10 strokes. I'll do 10 to 15 strokes and then spot to make sure I know where I'm going. Now that's different in different water.
In the river, you're gonna have to do it more often because the river's bending and there's things
Yes,
in your way. Open water is gonna be a little bit easier to do 10, 15 strokes.
exactly. Open water in Lake Huron, when we're swimming from the bathhouse to the pier, you
Mhm.
can spot from the bottom of the lake. Like you can tell when you are starting to get too deep because you can see everything. The patterns of the sand on the bottom change. You start to
Mhm.
see deeper water. So you can navigate right back in to the shoreline without having to spot. So I take a lot of comfort in swimming with the shoreline. And then you can really tell when you're getting too close to the shore because you're about to scrape the bottom of the
Yeah,
lake with your fingertips.
yeah.
But with that comes the added struggle with waves. Lake Michigan, there are going to be a lot of waves depending on where
Mhm.
you are. Do you know if you're going to be in a harbor or a bay?
I'm not sure. Cheryl, do you know?
I think that we're on the shoreline, so I don't believe that we're in a bay per se.
Okay.
So,
And is it morning when you guys start? Will you be starting in the morning?
so
Yes.
it's usually calmer, right?
Yep. You usually get calm water in the morning, but you'll want to train in choppy water too. So we
Mhm.
do that too when we train for our open water swims. We usually meet in the morning just because it's so nice to have just clear water and a good swim.
No people to worry about.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But getting out there a little bit later when it is choppy is super important for learning how to breathe with the waves because
Mhm.
you usually breathe on the opposite side that the
The
wave,
waves. So
you're
you're not getting a mouthful of water.
the wave taking a breath and then you usually find a stride with it. Like um you can kind of anticipate most of them.
So my thought with training in Lake Huron and going from the bathhouse to the pier is that we're going to be going parallel to the land. But then in the race, I believe it's going to be going out and around. So I'm going to go against the waves and then have the waves pushing me back in. So
Okay.
that's what I anticipate happening. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
So that would be something else that I would want to figure out if there's waves and I'm swimming into them, how to navigate that.
Yes. So it's interesting because even when we do swim like that with the waves, most times they're kind of coming in at
Like an angle?
so you really are, any way you go, you're going against the waves and then riding them back in. It seems like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
so the way back will be lovely. Absolutely love
Yeah,
that.
surfing, body surfing.
Feel like you're flying and you're like, right when, basically right when you're ready to turn around, you're questioning your life choices. And you're like,
I'm
what?
glad I'm not having to have 56 miles of biking after this.
Yeah, why? Why did I do this? And can I finish this? And
Mhm.
then right when you turn around and you're riding the waves back, you're like, oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I can finish this. I got so much more in me now. So I think just practicing in those different scenarios, in the different waves, will help you find what works for you, because I'm not sure that there's any one size fits all for most open water swimmers.
Okay. What do you know about drafting? Is that something I should even consider or just not even worry about it? Or how do I even do it? I don't know.
I wouldn't, so right, I will say I've got very little experience with drafting. I've heard my coach talk about drafting in a pool. There is some drafting that you can do lane by lane wherever you are. So you can hug the lane line of the person that is ahead of you, and you should be able to get some reduced drag
Mhm.
drafting somebody. If you were swimming with someone, you might want to consider that, but I honestly don't have
Okay.
much.
It was an idea that had popped up and I don't know anything about it. So I was like, it's probably not, it's way over my head. I'm not that serious about it. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I figured I'd ask.
And to be honest, when I was swimming my 3 mile swim, I would I would stay near somebody, but that's hard to do too, because you don't really know you can't really anticipate their movement too. If they're spotting and heading towards a destination, like they might have a different idea of a route. So I
Mhm.
was always hesitant to get too close to people, because I don't want to, like, what if you're going the wrong way? There's a bunch of buoys around here and I don't want to be following you towards the wrong buoy.
Right. Right. You had mentioned earlier about your goggles fogging up. I know that we've talked about this before, and I know a lot of swimmers lick their goggles,
Yeah.
and there are some like fogging sprays that you can use. Do you have a preference or one that seems to work better than others?
Bit.
Spit. Okay.
Yeah. But I will say that I wish that I would have had stronger anti-fog in my 3 mile swim, because everything was so dark that morning. It was not sunny. It was an overcast day. And then when it came time to spot, I was so far away from where I needed to go, and I was so foggy that I was really struggling. So if when that happens, because it will, your goggles will fog up. Number one, I would invest in some
Anti-
anti-fog of any
okay.
type. New sets of goggles will come built in with an anti-fog in them, and they say not to touch them now.
Okay.
Leave them be.
So with it possibly being an overcast day, and you said having struggle breathing or seeing, sorry,
Yeah.
um, were they like the tinted ones? Were they clear ones? And if it's a sunny day, that's going to make a difference too. So should I have one of each prepared?
Maybe I would almost just go to clear, because mine were tinted and dark already. With the added fog, it was really tough. I would
Yeah.
go clear and anti-fog, unless you're smack dab in the middle of the day and you're planning on doing multiple miles.
Okay.
But early in the morning, I would go not tinted, totally clear, definite anti-fog. And do not be afraid to stop, kick on your back, get your goggles adjusted. You're going to be much more comfortable taking the time to do that,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like, well, now what? No, take
Mhm.
and get comfortable, make it enjoyable.
Okay. Should I, like, obviously, as we get closer to race day, like my training's going to amp up, I'm going to be doing more and more. What is your opinion on, like a couple days before? Should I still make sure I'm training strong all the way up? Should I take like 2 days off beforehand and just do some easy stretching? Should I make sure I get in the water the day before just to feel everything out? Like, what are your thoughts on as we get closer for training?
As you get closer, for us, it would probably be more of a mindset type of, have I felt the water? Do I feel good in the water? How does my spotting feel? Is my wetsuit perfect? You're going to want to try that out. You're going to want to run like a test run in your wetsuit a few times, and then definitely not hard training. You're not going to want to hard train, do your exact mileage and try to drop time. That's not what you want to do a couple days before. Get wet and still feel good, but I would stretch and just get your mind right at that point. And then when you get there, I would feel the water. Get in, feel the water, look around, be there early so you're not stressed about checking in and figuring out the water and feeling the water. Is it too cold? Is it clear enough that I don't want my clear goggles? I might want my dark goggles.
So I don't see the fish.
Yeah. You can't swim the whole thing with your eyes closed. That's not recommended.
And along with training, I know that I'm swimming around a mile and I know that I can swim a mile in a pool. When we do training, should I be swimming double that amount? Should I just try to stick to around a mile? Like what do you suggest being best for training?
So I say stick to a mile. Just adding that 2/10 on, that's not going to do anything for you. And for you right now, you're focused on feeling good and finishing. You're not at a space where you want to be, I have to be at this pace per 100, like per 100 meters. That's not where you are. You want to be comfortable. You want to enjoy yourself. You're doing this for fitness and enjoyment, not for an Olympic time trial. So go in just knowing you're doing this for the experience. So feeling good, knowing you're confident, and trusting that swimming a mile in the pool is definitely going to help you. But once we get out there and you start feeling, there's really no way you're not going to go swim only 1 mile and then walk back from the pier. You're going to swim 2 miles with them. And then you'll know how that feels. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can do 2 miles, no problem. 1.2 miles is going to be nothing for you. Times will be different because you don't have turns. You're turning every, about 40 seconds, 50 seconds in the pool, which does play a role with your back and that possibly being bothered, because I notice my back gets bothered by turns too now. Wow, this is a very humbling conversation to have. My back gets bothered by the turns. My neck hurts when I track the water.
Why are we doing this if it hurts?
Mobility and longevity. We want to move like this when we're older. And that's, I think, really the key here is that, you're able to do this now and you want to keep being as mobile as you can for as long as you can.
Yes. Are there any other like dry land exercises that would help improve my lazy kick or anything else for my shoulders and my core? Do you have any others that you suggest that maybe I could add to my routine?
Core is huge. Absolutely huge. So like 10 minutes of core a day, always. And I definitely think we need to be stretching those shoulders and making sure that you've got mobility in them. But strengthening, I know you talked about TheraBands and that you were focused on getting that done, 3 times a week now?
Yep.
Good.
Trying.
Yep. Because having 3 total shoulder surgeries myself when I was 19 and had my shoulder surgeries, I did not attack the physical therapy at home with my homework like I should have, because I was 19 years old and in college, and that wasn't my priority apparently.
Nope. I think Cheryl and I both understand that. We both messed up our knees in high school, and I know Colleen had some other issues with her knees, and didn't tear anything, but had other issues. And you're just young and think you're invincible, and I don't need to do that, or other things became more important, or you were just too busy. At least for me, Cheryl, I shouldn't speak for you.
I was in the PT room a lot. I really did take it to heart. It was important to me. But I think that's just my personality, and I went into healthcare, so that's the route that was
Yep.
already important to me. But I think that's very normal for most high school and college kids. They still feel good. They don't have the aches and pains that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
easy to be like, oh, it's gonna heal all on its own. It's gonna be fine. In reality, it probably is not, but you still feel like that when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's totally normal.
Yeah, I think there's so many times that I think like, oh my gosh, if I'd only known a quarter then what I know now about like my body and taking care of it, I probably wouldn't have had to play a whole season injured. I
Yeah.
probably would have been healthy and felt great, but like you said, you're young, you're an athlete, and you're just like, nope, I can do it. I can play through it. It's fine. Who cares? There's no tomorrow. I just got to get through this game. I just got to get through this season. I just got to, yeah, and you just push. Yeah.
All right. Now, you said that I have a pretty typical open water stroke. Is there, while we're out swimming, is it something we should look into having somebody take a video of me and you can like help critique? Is that something that we should do or not do, or?
That's a good idea. So I think what we'll notice too is when we're swimming together, a video would probably be better because I would want to see what you look like a little bit out of the water too. Like, are we getting a good rotation? How much rotation do we need in open water? The rotation really helps with your mobility. So
Mhm.
the more your core is stable and the more that you can rotate on your side, the less pain you're going to have on your shoulders because you're not going to be cranking that shoulder to pull your arm out. Your arm will just come out and around like a rainbow and have all the mobility you need. So we'll have to see. We may have to adjust your stroke a little bit. Like if you're going elbow high, but you're cranking your shoulder, we might need to just think about a straight arm recovery that allows for a little bit more mobility if you're on your side. If you
Okay.
are getting on your side for those each of your rotations in your stroke.
Mhm. Yeah, because I mean, for myself, I noticed when I breathe, because I usually breathe on the right side, my right arm comes out more than my left arm, and my right arm is the one that I'm having the shoulder issues with.
Oh,
I don't know if that's related or not. And then maybe I should start trying to breathe on the left side more, and if that would help.
yeah. I think being able to bilateral breathe is huge. That's super important. And I think that's a good place to start. I always encourage my swimmers bilateral breathe. Are you overcompensating, which is what happened
Mhm.
with me?
Yep.
Different muscles to compensate for the
The
lack.
pain. Yeah. Yep. Okay. For nutrition, as a swimmer, is there different nutrition that you would advise to take in and some that you would try to avoid, versus like some other athlete?
So as far as swimming a longer distance, you're going to want to fuel up and have some type of good carbohydrate to kind of take you through that. But basically, eat right for just your general eating habits. That's going to help you a lot. But also making sure that you eat something before you train. A lot of people like bagel with honey on it or something, bagel with butter and honey, granola bars. You're going to be looking more for your carbohydrates and good carbs
Energy.
that can be broken down quickly and easy on your stomach, as opposed to like steak. You don't want to eat a bunch of steak before you get in, or a lot of protein, but do get some protein in like 2 hours before if you have the ability to do that. So you have
Okay.
something to stick with you. But so heavier, like 2 hours before, half hour before, get some of that simple carbohydrate in. Steer clear from a lot of processed stuff. Always fruit. Fruit is always good. One of the things that I noticed that I absolutely love is Rice Krispie treats are a good source before you get in like that half-hour time. Pretzels are good because they also have, you know,
The salt.
like lights and salt in it that can help out. But then
Okay.
also fuel up just like you would from a marathon. They've always got some nice snacks afterwards to replenish, make sure you get that in.
Yes. And so that leads right into like, what about recovery? Do you have experience with pickle juice?
Not in that way lately, but I have been drinking some pickle juice. I like pickle juice and I like pickles, but it's not my go-to for like, I'm not packing one after a meet or after a race, but I think it's a great idea. I don't know what is research saying about that, because I've heard some different things like, yes, great for you, and then other people are like, it's a old wives tale type thing. What is that?
Well, Cheryl, you're more of the
I don't know about the research around it, but I do know that from personal experience and what I've given my athletes is that pickle juice is great for, especially if you're on the football field and you're having cramps. It's a great instant. It stops those cramps. It helps replenish the electrolytes really, really quickly. Much better than a Gatorade because Gatorade has so much sugar and chemical in it.
Yeah.
You're looking at garlic and salt versus chemicals and dyes. I would prefer a pickle juice over a Gatorade any day. So, personal experience, I prefer pickle juice.
What about you, Colleen? Have you drank any pickle juice?
Oh,
Your fridge is full of pickles.
first of all, I'm pretty sure I've had a lifetime supply of pickle juice. I love pickles. I love pickle juice. It 100% was my go-to. With like in the summer, when it's summer out and hot out here, for sure. Like when I'm playing a game, I'll have some pickle juice in one of my water bottles for sure, just in case. Just in case, like you get a muscle cramp, like Cheryl said, like it really is super fast. Something cool they have in Germany here is they have magnesium shots. So it's like a fast acting. They literally sell them in little individual things, and that's exactly what it's for. Is if you get a muscle cramp, you literally can like shoot it like a pixie stick, and it's just immediate like magnesium, and it helps take the cramp away.
Maybe you
But
need to
I
bring
have
some of
that
those with
and
you when you move back.
what?
You need
Oh,
to bring
bring
some
those
of
with
those.
me? I
Yeah.
can. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I can put them in a suitcase, or there's a lot of stuff we'll be bringing back, yes.
Okay.
But I'm 100% a fan of the pickle juice for sure.
Okay.
For leisure or sport.
Yes. Sometimes in the evenings, I'll just be like, Amy's not watching, right out of the jar.
Yes. Oh, we do it all the time. And I told you I'm going to make pickle pops this year.
Pickle pops.
Pickle
Pickle
pops.
juice pops. Pickle juice pops. Yeah.
We got one of those. They actually make those. And when we were on vacation traveling from Hot Springs, Arkansas, back home, the kids were bugging me. All three of them are in the car and they wanted ice cream. And for some reason, they just wanted gas station ice cream, like from the freezer. And I went, okay, fine. Went in, and one of my girls likes pickle juice. She loves pickles. So I bought her. Everybody else, I bought this really yummy, wonderful ice cream. And I'm like, here you go, guys. And then I gave her the pickle pop, and she's like, really? I'll try, but this is what you got me, and you got everybody else this. And then I gave the other one, and she thought it was quite hilarious. But we passed it around and tasted it. It was good. And then we dropped the pickle pop somewhere in the car, and it ended
You
up
collected everything.
just along with us in 86-degree temperature.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, no, not so good.
Well, on the pickle note, there's a new pizza place that just opened around us, and I need to, when next time you guys are in town, I have to take you to this place. They have a dill pickle pizza, and it's
I'm in.
amazing. It is so amazing. It's now my favorite piece of like my type of pizza is pickle pizza.
Okay.
What is the sauce?
It's like a white garlic sauce,
Okay.
and it has very thinly sliced pickles all over it. They don't chintz on the toppings, and then they have bacon on the pizza, but I don't like bacon. So I mean, it's still pork, so we just use ham because it's not as crispy. So we do ham and the pickles and the garlic sauce, and it's a thin crust, and it's super tasty.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to bring you guys some pickle pizza.
Pickle
Yeah.
pizza. Yes, maybe we'll be able to find some after our race.
It sounds like
I was gonna say recovery meal.
Yes,
That
yes.
sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
A couple more questions. Have you ever thrown up in the water? And if you do, how do you escape it?
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure that I've actually thrown up ever while I was swimming. No. Oh, but
Have you come across it in the water before?
no. No, never. And even in a pool, there is so much chemical that when you are swimming, if there's something gross in front of you, trust that it's just going to float away and not bother you.
I
It's
just
like
see
an
myself
actual
putting my
chunk.
hand in it as I'm taking my stroke or like
No,
breathing
there's an
out and it's
actual
right
chunk. I'm not. Uh-uh.
So, far more often will be snot.
there.
Yeah. Not gunk coming out of your mouth. If you go into this race congested, this is your time to get it
Get it
all.
all out.
It all comes out. Do not.
Clean the
Okay.
sinuses.
Cheryl, if you needed any other reason not to do the swim, I mean, you are just, this is, there's puke and snot, and this is Cheryl's nightmare. She,
Oh, and there's pee too, because everybody's told me to pee in the water.
Pee in the
Oh,
Pee
yeah.
in my
Oh, yeah.
wetsuit.
You're going to have a hard time peeing and swimming. So slow down and just float around for a little bit. Yep. Then you'll be fine.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Lovely.
What about like during the race, if cramping becomes an issue? Because I know when I wear fins, my feet cramp. My shin was cramping one time this year at practice. I've never had my shin cramp. It
Ow.
was so bizarre. But like during the race, do you have like I can't touch the bottom to like stand up?
No. So
And like hands and fingers too.
you better not be swimming like that. Yes, you would absolutely cramp up if you're swimming like this. Relax. So first of all, just relax your hands. Like, yeah, you want to be able to grab the water like this, but just comfortably open, not
Okay.
completely tight trying to keep them closed. The more relaxed that you can be and like stable in your core, that's going to be the key. And then if you are apt to cramp, bananas, make sure you eat a banana, a lot of bananas coming up to your race. And then,
Pickle juice.
yup, yeah, be
Yeah.
proactive, get some of the electrolytes in before you go in. Just like we tell all of our athletes, if you're thirsty, it's too late. And then another thing, when you go to the bathroom, if your pee is not clear or close to it, you need to be drinking more water. And that's kind of a gross metric, but at the same time, it gives you a lot of insight into your body. So I pay attention to my pee.
Yeah.
Look at it. Are you getting enough intake of water? And if you're not setting yourself up for success for not cramping during your race, I have a feeling you probably won't have as much cramping issue, hopefully, but especially not using fins and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No,
if you do cramp, then just like I said, calm yourself, collect yourself, breathe, float on your back. And just the more that you can breathe and kind of stretch, reach, if you're cramping in your side, you're just going to have to breathe through that.
mhm.
And that's kind of where I would anticipate you might end up cramping in a longer swim like that. But, you're not going to be sprinting. You're not going to be fast twitch type movements. So
Mhm.
What do you think? So logistically, as I'm waiting in the corral area for Christine to finish, what's a realistic time for Christine to finish this race at 1.2 miles, open water, never done it before, not going for time, just
yep.
like to do it? What? Okay, gun goes off, Christine goes. At what time should I be like kind of anticipating Christine coming into the bike area, the corral area?
So Christine and I have talked about this a couple of times, and because she would time herself during her morning swims when she was doing a mile in the water in the pool. And she would tell me that what were you coming in, Christine, for
It was around like 35 minutes.
Exactly. And that's what I would anticipate too. So when we swim a mile in open water, we were right about that same time, like 29, 30 minutes on the way out. And then on the way back was always a little bit faster for a mile. So I would anticipate her mile. What do you think, Christine? Maybe 40. Well, you got 1.2, anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes is my guess. Under an hour.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. We'll have to see how you do in some open water this summer to really get,
Okay.
But then beyond that, once we see how you perform in open water, then I think we'll have a better idea of where you want to finish. Especially, it's really hard to gauge without those turns, or with having the turns in the pool and then going to open water.
Right. And how windy is it, and how big are the waves, and that's all gonna factor in.
Yep.
Getting kicked in the face, kicked in the chest, being dragged underwater. Hopefully not.
All those things. And it is absolutely my suggestion, Christine, if you are in any way bothered by not catching your breath early on, or really struggling with choppy water that's unexpected, I would just wait till the pack settles down, get in and get comfortable on your own, as opposed to fighting the crowd of waves.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that advice, and because I'm all about surviving and enjoying it. I don't need to leave with a broken nose or a black eye because somebody kicked my goggles, and I don't need all that.
Yeah,
And you don't need to leave somebody else with a black eye or a broken.
No, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Bruiser.
Do you for goggles, sometimes I feel like my goggles are too tight, and so then I've got, like, we swim in the morning, so I'm going to school and I've got these lovely circles around my eyes. Like, but if I loosen them too much, then I feel like they're just going to leak.
Okay, this is another one of those humbling experiences for us, I think. I've noticed the same thing with me. I've noticed that the younger swimmers don't seem to struggle as much with these big old raccoon eyes after they get out of the water.
Yes.
I think it might have something to do with the difference in our skin.
Okay.
Maybe ours isn't quite as supple as a high schooler's eyes and skin. So I think sometimes we just end up with longer lasting impressions, maybe.
So not much to do for that.
I don't think so. I noticed, oh gosh, I love coming out of the water, even in the mornings, because first of all, you feel really hot because you just swam 2 miles, but it's also really cold at the same time. So your skin is a little bit cold, but your body is hot. Face is red, but at the same time, you've also gotten some sun because you just spent an hour in the water and you're getting sun from all directions from that water. So even though you're looking down the whole time, your face has actually gotten some rays. So it's a really kind of a strange feeling. You've got cold, hot, sunburnt, a little bit of just cold feeling, sensation on your face because you've been smacked by cold water in the face for an hour. So coming out of the open water is a little bit different, and you won't have as much of the raccoon eyes from your goggles, but now you're going to have big red face from all of the elements.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the other experts that we had talked to had suggested, from being on my stomach for so long, that my legs and all the blood is going to kind of not be in my legs because I'm gonna have to run a little bit to get to Cheryl. So he said, suggest like really kicking them to get the blood flowing again. Have you had any experience with that?
Not necessarily as much you're definitely going to feel fatigue from your swim, but at 1.2 miles, I don't know that it's going to make as big of a difference for you. You might want to absolutely get it in there, shake them out a little bit, kick right before you get ready to go. But you'll have to catch your balance. You might feel even a little bit off balance just because you've been riding waves for the
I'm
last
face down and
year.
all the blood is in my front of my face instead of circulating in my brain.
Yeah. Going. You'll be moving your arms and legs. So I would assume that things would still, circulate like they should be. But after you get off a boat, after you've been on a boat for a while, it takes
Yep.
you to get your bearing about yourself. But you'll
Yep.
feel it when you stand up, and then you'll definitely want to shake out and stretch when you're done.
Even if you walk to me, that's fine. Again, we're not doing this for time. We're just doing it to survive and do it.
I just don't want to crawl on my hands and knees.
Well, yeah, it would be a little
I look kind
embarrassing.
of silly.
Good. Well, is there anything that we should have asked that we didn't ask?
Oh boy. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I would recommend good rest the night before. I think that helps to kind of get your mind right for the next morning, get your electrolytes in, get some good rest, stretch, make yourself feel good.
Awesome. Colleen, you want to take us to the next section?
Sure. I figured since there's all these trends going on about what were you like in the 90s, I thought, well, we were all alive in the 90s. Me, maybe oh no, I guess Ellen the least, but out of us three sisters, I'm the least. However, we do have some, I thought photos would be fun to share. So Cheryl put together a lovely slideshow of photos that we all sent to her. And I just thought we could go through and do when it was, where it was, and oh why. Because some of the outfits are going to be pretty epic, or haircuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
whenever you're ready, Cheryl, we'll pull up that first slide and the first victim.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Cheryl, those pants. Oh my God.
Those pants were made. We each had a pair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I love those.
It was, yeah. So we did when we showed the horses, I don't remember the
Consumer's Ed.
No, it was a team event where you had 3 horses and 3
Oh,
horse,
I thought it was
horse
just for
people.
Consumer's Ed.
No, it was showmanship, but each person and each horse had to do exactly the same thing at the same time. You had to do the turns, you had to back up, you had to switch from right to left. Everything had to be done at the same time. And we had different people, and nobody had similar clothing because you have to match the people too. And so our 4-H leader and our lovely mother decided that they were going to make pants for us.
And this was a fabric they found where?
Yeah, I don't know. But this is what they chose, so this is what we got.
I love it.
And apparently I thought it was pretty cool because I wore it to the first day of school.
I know. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, first day of school.
Yeah, because
But it did match my soccer t-shirt. So
very well, yeah.
So Colleen, I think you're in kindergarten there, right?
It has to be kindergarten. Yeah, I would say. So this must be 1990.
Yes, I think this was the very beginning of the 90s. Yes.
So then I would have been in like 2nd grade, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I am looking at Gabby and Emmeline.
Yes.
Gabby and Emmeline right there.
And Elliot, even though you haven't met Elliot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, next slide. So this is me and Christine when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Oh
my God. Closed.
Thankfully we got to run on the same track team on all the relays. Well, not all the relays, the 4x1 and 4x2. I think this was the 4x2. And Christine usually started us off and I usually anchored. And then we had people in between. And for a while there, it was Martin. So we had 2 Martins and 2 Luthers.
That's awesome.
I don't think the Martins were related, but yeah, it was.
They were not. Okay.
Yep. And then this is Christine.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Look how young.
The one in the middle is definitely middle school.
Yeah.
So that was middle school track. The one on the right, I'm thinking it's probably like 5th grade.
I don't know, but you love that shirt. You wore
I
the
did.
snot out of that shirt.
It was a super long, like it went past my knees. So like I really had to tuck it in if I was going to wear it.
I think even in this picture you can see there's a little knot to your right, to our left.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And
Yeah.
then the one on the left, I think it's got to be middle school or freshman year or something like that.
Good times.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the bean. Colleen. Colleen, you want to give us a
Yeah.
little explanation?
Sure. So, well, the one with dad, I hadn't seen before, and so I thought, oh my gosh, that's a cool one.
I
Hang
love
on.
that.
Soccer, obviously, because it's the 90s and jerseys had to be 10 times bigger than you.
I love the shorts.
Yeah. That was, let's see, dance.
My,
And
my kids still have that outfit to play dress
I
up in.
I have a picture of Emmeline wearing it. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
it was a tap recital, and we danced to the song Lollipop. I still know the dance. And
Of course you do.
the other one was mom had asked me to go do something in the backyard. So it must have been like feed the birds or like take water to the horses or the pigeons or something. And it was morning. And so I think that's just what I slept in. And I put on a hat and boots. And I came
Adorable.
back and mom thought it was cute. And she was like, take a pose. And I was like, okay. So that's, yeah.
Now, do you remember? Did you have anything underneath that shirt?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was just the shirt, which is why it looks so awkward. Yeah.
Yes, that's fun. Okay, and here's some Ellen.
All right. So you can see my favorite outfit at that time was the super technologically advanced Aquablade. That was all the craze. I feel like this might have been like 1999, just before 2000s. And that's all I wanted for Christmas. And I got it. And then it was super exciting. So I have next to me is one of my really good friends, Jill. She swam with me too during high school. And we were on the bottom left where we're all in a triangle,
Pyramid.
that was Jill's birthday party that we got together. And everywhere we went, we always did, you did the pyramid. Like that's how we got our pictures taken. And then in my other picture, I'm with my two coaches. The one with shorter hair making a funny face is my current mentor for coaching, Jeff Rush. He's been pretty important in shaping my coaching and helping me out there.
90s. All right, here's some more of the three of us. Oh boy, I just see your kids. That's all I see.
Yeah.
I just see your kids now. But this is more of us. I think on the bottom left with the horse, that was the first day that Mary came to us.
Yes, it
Mary,
was. She
the
buffed
horse's
right
name was
there.
Mary. And Colleen, you just look like so comfortable on the front of the horse. And I think
Just,
Christine,
like,
you're holding
relaxed.
on to like dear life.
Because she bucked.
Yeah.
All three of us are.
She was a
not
pistol.
nice.
Yeah. And then we had on the other side with the duck, that's Jack.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah.
he was a ham, and I think he really enjoyed his little routine of quacking around the backyard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then upper right, at least right for me, is Aunt Sue and us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Grandma.
Mhm.
I think that was at a park. Christine, you look so thrilled in this picture.
I am not happy.
You look like Emmeline so much. Oh my.
Something must have happened with your sucker. I don't know. Why would
No,
you?
I only have half of it. So.
Does Colleen have the other half? Because she's like thrilled.
Cheese.
And then this was that green shag carpet at Mom, Dad's.
Yes.
That's that last picture.
Everywhere.
Apple. Yeah, crazy. Oh, and then I think this is the last slide. So this was like the swing set of death that if you swing too high that it would come right out of the ground. And I think that
Yes.
they were prohibited after the 90s to be sold, but we had one.
We had one, and is that the hole that was filled in after
Yes.
mom broke her leg? So our mom had broken her leg, and she had a cast up to, was this the one up to her hip? Or is
Probably.
this okay? And so she supervised us, but we just hung out in the backyard. So we took like cups from the kitchen and we used those to dig a huge deep hole where we could all three fit inside. And then we'd like fill it up with water and we'd pretend we're like Tarzan and we'd have to jump on the swing set and swing over. And
Oh, the 90s. So
oh,
different than all the cell phone usage these days with
yes,
kids.
yes.
Go outside and play. And then of course this is our front. This is I think at Grandma and Grandpa's house
Yep.
in Livonia.
Yep.
Where we decided that we needed to clean the windows with their tongues.
So much fun.
So, yep, that's the 90s. All right, Colleen, you want to take us through a mood meter?
Yeah, so I got a screaming almost 1-year-old.
Couple
I
weeks.
know. Crazy. Yeah, so one word or phrase to describe this month. So either that's already happened or just to kind of project you forward into the rest of the month. 15.
Like new energy, like energized with the weather kind of getting, I mean, it's really sloppy today, but yesterday was beautiful. Just being able to see the sunshine, see the grass, and get out more. I feel more energized and more excited to like pick up training again. I feel like I took this last month was kind of very depressing and I was doing okay most of the way through winter, but like this last month it was like too much and I don't know exactly why. So I kind of took like a month off of not doing much of anything. And so now I feel like I'm ramping back up into it. So feeling energized, new energy, ready to continue.
Yeah, awesome.
What about you, Cheryl?
So, kind of in the same vein, not quite the same, but similar. My word is steps because that's our challenge for this month, but it's also kind of a renewing of getting going, stepping back into training, being a little bit more serious about the athleticism and preparing for this race and preparing our bodies for summer and being outside and just doing stuff. So steps is my word. Colleen?
Sorry, we're having a meltdown. Hey, Ellen, your mood.
I'm happy to share mine. So for me, it's diligence. The routine of doing your work doesn't always come easy, and neither does the drive. Some days feel different, like for what I can handle and attack. But once I am diligent, it becomes a non negotiable. And it doesn't feel like I have to do. It's I get to, I want to, it's done. So I'm working on diligence and just getting that back into my routine in a diligent way.
All right, Colleen, you're up.
Okay, sorry. I don't know. Let's do
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
just keep swimming. Yeah, and just try to embrace, I guess, good and bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You have a lot on your plate right now, so it's okay. Like you have and a lot of changes coming soon. So you
Yep.
have to be flexible and
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Keeping up with everything. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get there. It's all gonna be
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wanted to thank Ellen. Thank you so much for joining us today. And that is it for this episode of Sisters Before Blisters. Our next episode, we're going to try to jump into nutrition and have an expert come on with us for nutrition. And if you're following along, you can look on YouTube or anywhere where you get your podcast. Just search for Sisters Before Blisters. And until then, just keep showing up, just keep swimming, just keep doing your thing, and we'll see you next time. That's it for Sisters Before Blisters. If you've enjoyed hanging out with us, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And drop us a comment with what resonated with you today. Also, share this with someone who needs a push to try something new. There's nothing like trying something completely out of your comfort zone to remind you what you're made of. Until next time, keep chafing the dream.